So you came to see the trial? Yes, I did. Something was bothering me all last night, you see. Couldn't get a wink of sleep. Really? What was it? Well, you see, it's just Mia's sister, that poor girl. My boy, I owe you my thanks, truly. I don't know what I would have done if things had gone poorly for the girl. I asked before, but why did you refuse a request for defense? I think I have a right to know. All right, Mr. Wright. It's going to be so used. I already know it. No, I'm sorry. I need more time to think about it, my boy. He does seem troubled about something. I'm starting to have a feeling I know what it is. Well, what are you being blackmailed for? Well, why were you blackmailed over this, Mr. Grossberg? The DL6 incident was top secret at the time. It made sense. The police didn't want people to know they were using a medium. They couldn't let people know. But one person found out. I told him. You told White? He offered me riches. It is an embarrassment to me now. Because I talked, the police were mocked far and wide. In secret, they began looking for the one who sold them out. Of course, White heard about it and he came to me. Only this time, the offer was blackmail. I see. White controls the law of this country as he sees fit. Yet if he could still challenge him, you would still challenge him. Have a close look at Mia's office. Mia's office. She followed his every move for years. She may have recorded something of what she found. When's the DL6 incident? DL6 is nothing more than the sorting code the police gave the case. It was 15 years ago now. I received a request from a medium, a spirit medium. Medium. Her name was Misty Faye. Oh my god. Do all of their names start with M-I? Or just M? Faye. Indeed. She was Mia's mother. She'd been investigating a murder at the bequest of the police. And she failed. As a result, the police called her a fraud. This is what Maya was talking about the other day. I did all I could for her, and in the end cleared her of wrongdoing. That murder case, however, remains unsolved to this day. That case is the DL6 incident. Thank you for your time. You want to talk about anything? That's useless. Here. Sorry, my boy. I don't think I can help you with that. Yeah. There's really nothing else. I'm gonna leave, buddy. It's funny, looking at this room, it seems so normal. Hard to imagine a murder took place here. Mr. Grossberg said there would be clues. Maybe I should have another look around. Well, I mean, I assume he's taken all the cases. All the cases, they're in alphabetical order. Let's take a look. Which file should I look at? A through L. Let's see if there's an A record in this file that catches my eye. Oh my god. Oh my god. A, B, F, Misty Faye. That's Mia and Maya's mother. Oh, she does it by last name? Oh, well, if I fucking knew that, I would have checked out White. Oh, I thought it was gonna be, like, the actual police designation. You know, DL6. Whatever. Should I take a look? No. No, leave it be for right now. I don't think it has much to do with the current case. It'll be interesting to know what it contains, but I'll leave it alone for now. No, I'm going to look at the other ones. Which file? No, we're going through the J through S. Let's see, J through S. Oh, nothing funny. Maybe I'll just skim some of these. Skim! Well, no harm in flipping through a bit, I guess. The biggest parts here at the end is an S, suicide. Ew. She has a collection of suicide reports. There's politicians, policemen. There's writing on most of these in pencil. White. This is Mia's handwriting. What? Why is it in J through S? Wait, I get it. Mia thought he was involved in these suicides. White drove them all too. I can use these newspaper clippings. Let's find the most disturbing one. Classic. I love you. No, let's look at the other ones. Try and check Mia's files once more. Check them. Which file? Yeah, let's go through A through I again. F, Misty Faye. Should I look at it? Yeah. I've tarnished the Faye name, leaving only these words. My mother vanished. I was determined to find the ones who had made my mother blame herself in this way. Using the ESP that runs in my family, I held an audience with the dead. Finally, the names of two men surfaced. One was Marvin Grossberg, a lawyer who sold my mother's information for riches. The other was the man who sold that information to the press. This parasite who makes his fortune on threats and coercion. His name is... The record stops there. So Mia knew Grossberg. Well, we already know it's fucking White. Yeah, let's go ahead and check through the T through Z. T, U, I know, W, White. The entire W section is missing. Huh, would you look at that, buddy. Was it taken? And look at her desk. Mia's desk, perfectly clean as always. No, I guess that's everything. Let's go ahead and back out. Let's go see if he has anything to say. Well, aren't you persistent? Sorry, but there's something I have to ask you. Mr. Lawyer, I really hate having to repeat myself, but it seems the message has not yet penetrated your thick skull. Stop bothering me. If you try my patience further, I fear a nasty accident may occur. Do I make myself clear? Transparent. Let's talk about the night of murder. This guy's a pro pulling the wool over people's eyes. I've got to put him on the spot, and quick. Stop that, your hot gaze is giving me goosebumps. I think we're past needing to talk about April May. I've got to put this guy on the spot and quick. What's the matter? You seem distressed. Can I not present? Oh, obviously. Present. Oops. Here you go. This is the only clue that Mia left me. It'd be better to make this one count. Mr. White, see this? It's an article describing the suicide of a politician. He was embezzling secret government funds. Then one day, word got leaked to the press. The very next day, he took his own life. And this concerns me how... I found this article in Mia's office. Miss Mia. She had a file filled with articles like this. Every one of them was labeled with a single word, White. Mr. White, I know what you did to this politician. You blackmailed him. Blackmail? Not just him, either. You were threatening and coercing hundreds of others. You were involved in all of these suicide cases that Mia investigated. This company is built on blackmail. I'm right, aren't I? What a bizarre accusation. Mr. Wrong. What is it that you should be doing now? Investigating me? No, I think not. You should be searching for the one who killed Miss Mia. Secretary's office. Hello? Mr. Wrong will be leaving now. Yes, sir. I'll send someone right away. Wait a second. Mr. White. You're wrong. You're wrong, Mr. Wright. Excuse me? What I should be doing now is going after you. Just what are you insinuating? Mia was onto you. She was keeping tabs. For this reason, you had April May tapping her phone. Then Mia was murdered, and all the documents about you mysteriously disappeared. So the culprit would be... Even a child could work it out, Mr. Wright. You did it. Secretary's office. We won't be needing an escort for Mr. Wrong. Instead, please connect me to the public prosecutor's office. Of course, sir. One moment, please. White, that you? What are you doing calling me at a time like this? Hello, Chief Prosecutor. I've changed my mind. I want to testify tomorrow. What's this about? The Mia Fey case. I witnessed the murder, you see? And thus, as a very important witness, I would like to testify. What? Why now? I thought you said you didn't want to go to court. Quietude, I told you I changed my mind, didn't I? Oh, and one other thing. Send me the police over right here right away. The man is standing right in front of me. He looks dazed, but could be violent. What? What man? Are you even listening? The executioner, the hatchet man, the liquidator, the killer man. What? Mr. White, this isn't another one of those. Chief Prosecutor? I do not believe you're in a position to freely offer your opinions to me, correct? I'm telling you to send the police now. Did I not tell you, Mr. Wrong? You were a mere lawyer, as was Miss Mia. How dare you? I'll point the finger at you, and you will be tied as Miss Mia's killer. The case is as good as settled. No lawyer of any worth will defend you. I have friends in the local lawyers association, you see. You'll be given a lawyer so stupendously inept that they will make even you look competent. See, the good thing is I'll just represent myself. Well, I don't know how Japanese courts work, so you might not be able to actually represent yourself. I feel faint. Detective Gumshoe, reporting, sir. Ah, Butts, Harry Butts. No, that's the other stupid guy. Wright, actually, Phoenix Wright, and my friend's name is Larry. Oh, right, sorry, pal. Butts was that murderer, right? Detective Gumshoe, I present to you the man who killed Miss Mia Fey. What? Take this despicable human being into custody. Farewell, Mr. Wrong. September 8th, 3:37 p.m., Detention Center. Visitors room. I can't believe it's only been a day since the first trial. My trial begins tomorrow. White's going to set a trap for me, and the prosecutor will be in on it. Of course, Edgeworth included. An attorney was assigned to me by the state yesterday. I refused and I had an idea. Wright! Mr. Wright! Oh, Maya. Great, they let you out of detention. Just now, yes. It's all thanks to you. Now I'm afraid we've switched places. What? You mean you... Yeah. I explained what had happened to Maya. I don't believe it. How many people does that mean that man tried to destroy before he satisfied? My mother, my sister, and now you. This has gone too far. Mr. Wright, please tell me, is there anything I can do? Well... Help me break out of here. Help me break out of here. Right, okay, listen up. I want you to help me break out of here. You mean a jailbreak? Yeah, tonight's our only chance. Alright. Huh? Oh, I'd better go get a hacksaw while the stores are still open. Oh, and a rope ladder, and a getaway car. Can you drive? Wait. What? I'm kidding. It was a joke. No way. No, really, I was kidding. But thanks, it's good to know you're on my side. And there really isn't anything you can do for me anyway. But I can't just sit here and do nothing. I've got to give that man a piece of my mind. Just a piece? Okay. Then come to the court tomorrow. Okay, I'll be there. I'll show them a thing or two. It's the beginning of a new century. Yet with crime, it's the same old story. In fact, it's gotten worse. Lengthy court proceedings are no longer realistic. Beginning a few years ago, a limit of 3 days was put on initial court trials. Fuck. Almost all finish in a day, most with a guilty verdict. I'd hang myself. Like, if I only have a three-day trial and I'm a defense attorney, that's just so unfair. That is so astronomically unfair. I never thought I would end up in the defendant's chair myself. I mean, at that point, I just... guilty plea bargain, and give me some lighter sentence, please. Because it wraps up in a day. There's just no way you can win. Tomorrow, the true culprit will appear as a witness. This is it. It's me or him. To be continued. God, I really love that music, though. Or that tone. September 9th, 9:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Well, I guess this is it. Yeah. One way or another, this case gets decided today. Ah, Phoenix, look. Prosecutor, Edgeworth. I received a call from the police prosecutor's office yesterday. He told me that whatever Mr. White says today will be the absolute truth. No matter how you try to attack his testimony, if I raise an objection, I have it on good faith that the judge will listen to me. What does White have the judge in the... What? Does White have the judge in his pocket too? So you're saying I'm going to be guilty. End of story? I will do anything to get my verdict, Mr. Wright. Anything. Why? Why? Well, to be fair, if you're a prosecutor and you end up fucking up and losing in this such an unfair court against the defense, you're a failure. I would never hire you if as a prosecutor or employer if you fail a case. How can you torment an innocent person like this? Innocent? How can we know that? The guilty will always lie to avoid being found out. There's no way to tell who is guilty and who is innocent. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty. So I make that my policy. Edgeworth. You've changed. Phoenix, you know him? Don't expect any special treatment, Phoenix Wright. Phoenix? Well, court will be opening for session soon. What? But wait! Your defense attorney isn't even here yet. He's not... I'll be defending myself. Okay, yeah, you can represent yourself. What? Okay, let's do this. I mean, in this case, I would. September 9th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 1. I mean, if I ever got put on trial for something, I probably would end up trying to defend myself. Because I don't know. If it's either a state defense attorney or myself, I'd rather just defend myself. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, are you sure you're up to doing this? Yes, Your Honor. I'll be defending myself. Understood. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Oh, we finally get opening statements. As the details of the event are already quite clear to the court today, we will hear the testimony of another witness to the defendant's crime. I see. The prosecution may call its witness. That went far too smoothly. I don't get an opening statement? Why didn't the judge ask Edgeworth why his witness didn't testify before? It's like he already knows why. If anyone's going to raise an objection about this, I suppose it's me. Objection! Mr. Edgeworth, you owe an explanation to the court. Why didn't this witness testify in the trial against Miss Maya Fay? I'm ever so sorry. Mr. White is a busy man, and besides, at the time I thought that Miss May's opinion was all that would be needed. Again, my sincerest apologies to the court. Excellent, Mr. Edgeworth. I appreciate your demeanor. I love this. Great, he gets to show off and I get nowhere. I would like to call Mr. Red White to the stand. Please state your full name. You wish to know the title of my personage? Your name... Yes, that is what I said. Oh dear, do my, location... Fuck off. I hope you fry. Confuse. Name. These two are great together. You can already tell that Edgeworth is bought out, but he absolutely hates the fucker. My name is Red White, but my friends call me Blanco Nino. I'm the I want to die. I'm the CEO, or to use a more common term, the president of Blue Corps. Did you know the victim, Miss Mia Fay? That would be a negatory. No, I did not. You were at the Gatewater Hotel the night of the murder? Correct. And you witnessed the murder from there? Why tell you what you already know? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your testimony. If I can't rip this guy's testimony apart, I'm done for. Why do I always feel like it's the end of the world and I'm the last man standing? I hope you all have made your peace with God, Mr. Lawyer. Let him have it, Phoenix. Oh, I'm gonna introduce you to Jesus in 2 minutes, buddy. I'm gonna put you in the fucking chair and fry your motherfucking brain, boy. Let's see, it was about 9, I believe. I was quietly pursuifying, that's reading to you, some papers by the window, when I heard a bedlam coming from outside. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. It was when I saw him, a spiky-haired man attacking a woman with long hair. Needless to say, that man was none other than you, Mr. Wright, lawyer. I called Miss May over at once. She, too, was flabbergasted, of course. The victim was, she ran away, but you gave chase. Finally, there was a terrible impaction. Then it was all over. If things occurred as you testified, then I'm afraid the defendant is guilty. Very well, defendant. Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, no. I need to read May's testament. The victim dodged an attack, then ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. It was quite a pursuifying reading to some papers by the window when I heard a bedlam coming from outside. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. It was when I saw him, a spiky-haired man attacking a woman with long hair. Needless to say, that man was none other than you, Mr. Lawyer. I called Miss May over at once. She too was surprised, of course. The victim, she ran away, but you gave chase. Let's press this. Can you be a little more detailed about that? I think it's worth knowing exactly what happened. Of course, comprende, I understand. The victim was attacked by you and ran to the left. Got him. You gave chase and struck her down. Are you sure? As you know, I am always positively perfect. Perhaps you could change your testimony to reflect this new detail. The victim ran to the left and gave chase. You, sir, are wrong. Wait right there. Mr. White, you've dug your own grave. What is this? You said the victim ran to the left. But that directly contradicts Miss May's testimony. She clearly stated that the victim ran right. It is simple, you have misheard her. I think not. Look at the floor plans. The killer was here, and the victim here. If the victim ran to the left as you claim she did, she would have been running directly away from the door. She would have been running into a dead end. Do you find that odd? Very strange. I did see her run to the left, I did. Phoenix, look at his face. I don't think he's lying about this one. True. Maybe he really did see the victim run left. Because he's there. He's in front of her. It's his left. But it's May's right. So he did witness the killing. Wait a second. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Miss May says right and Mr. White says left. Can you explain this contradiction to the court? I can. Both are right. Both witnesses are telling the truth, for once. I doubt it. Rather, that does not clear up the contradiction. There's one scenario that would explain their conflicting accounts. What? Obviously, the witness was not viewing the crime from the hotel. Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Yes, what do you mean he was not viewing the crime from the hotel? If he was not in the hotel, where could he have been? In the law offices of Fay & Co., of course. More specifically, he was standing here. Show the court where Mr. White was standing. Right there. This is where he was. Look, when the victim ran for the door, if he was watching from this point to him, it would appear that you ran to the left. Please, this is no time for jokes and ill taste. That is where the killer was standing. Order, I will have order. Anyone disrupting the order of this courtroom will be held in contempt. Mr. Wright, what are you suggesting? Rapscallion. The postulations of the defense are a distortion of the truth, Your Honor. Indeed, they do seem a bit far-fetched. You provide us with so much entertainment, Mr. Lawyer. Well, now he's laughing. The hilarity of the moment made me remember something. It appears I have been unclear, and for this I apologize. Mr. Your Honor, might I be allowed to testify once more? Very well, let's hear your revised testimony. Good luck, you can't fix a broken testimony, buddy. She ran to the left. Miss May's testimony was correct, as was mine. When you assaulted the girl, she ran to the left. And when you hit her savagely, that is what I saw. Next, with the last of her strength, she ran to the right. You chased her and delivered the final blow. That is what Miss May saw. You see, you hit her twice. Don't you remember, Mr. Lawyer? That does seem to make sense. Will you be cross-examining the witness's testimony? You bet I will. I mean, yes, Your Honor. Yeah, autopsy. Only hit once. She died from a blow a few minutes after being hit. It doesn't say one. Let me press first, actually. What do you mean, first? First? That is what comes before what happens next. You do speak English, right? Please sit back, relax. I'll try to use simple words for your benefit. First, she ran to the left, and then you hit her savagely. That is what I saw. Next, with the last of her strength, she ran to the right. What do you mean, next? Next is what comes after first. I know that. Then, that is all you need to know, Mr. Lawyer. As I said, she turned and made a desperate dash to the right. So were you watching both times? I suppose I was. And please excuse me for not testifying into this sooner. What do you think, Phoenix? I think we've got him. Right where we want him. He slipped. Let him laugh for now. I'll soon wipe that face off his smile. That smile off his face. You hit her twice. Let's try that. Mr. White. The victim died from a single blow. There we go. What do you have to say to that? Now's my chance to hit him where it counts. Mr. White, wasn't it you who told the court you were absolutely perfect? I'll refrain from using this phrase from now on. Your Honor, if you could ask the witness for a new testimony. The witness is obviously confused, Your Honor. I would like to request a 10-minute break. Yes, quite. The witness is confused because he's lying. I emphatically request that there be no break, Your Honor. Yeah, we want justice. Don't let him get away. Very well. If the witness would care to revise his testimony, the crowd's on my side. No slipping out of this. Oh, now White. Mr. White? Okay. Yes. Well, you see, I looked the other window when I heard the thing fall. Then the next moment, I saw Miss May run to the left. To kill her, you attacked her, but she dodged. And then she turned and ran to the door. Then you did her in with a single blow. Thwap. Thwap indeed. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Mr. Your Honor, my stomach, you see, it is hurting. Deal with it. This is almost over. Yeah. 2 accounts. Press him on what he would have been able to see. Press on this. What did you do then? I gave chase, of course. No, not me. The killer. I mean, he gave chase. Mr. White, please try to remain calm. Mr. Wright here is only trying to fluster you with baseless accusations. Oh, all right. Thank you, Miles. You wouldn't have been able to see where the door is. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow. It clearly contradicts the, I thought. You don't sound very convinced, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled. I do. I don't think that won any points with the judge. No, fuck off. He wouldn't have been able to see. Thwap? That doesn't sound like the savage attack from your earlier testimony. Oh, yes, well, I'm a man of peace, you see. Phoenix, he's getting a lot less talkative. He's probably afraid I'll catch him on something. But it won't be easy. Let's see, I looked at the other window when I heard that thing fall. You heard that thing fall? What exactly was that thing? Oh, that, the glass light stand. Right, the one that had fallen over at the scene. Phoenix? Doesn't something about that strike you as odd? Yeah, very odd. He wouldn't have been able to hear it. If that is odd, I'll press further. Mr. White. Huh? What? You're saying you saw a glass light stand? Yes. Then change your testimony to reflect that. Sorry, my bad. The witness will revise his testimony. Okay, of course. Now this is where I present. Because now he wouldn't have been able to see it. Okay. Mr. White. It was impossible for you to have seen the glass light stand. What? Look at this. These are the floor plans to the scene of the murder. Correct, Your Honor. Now look. If you were looking through the window at the office, this is where the area you'd be able to see. Here. Well, note that the stand is not within the visible area. Well, Mr. White? What do you have to say to that? Ridiculosity. Mr. White, you were in the Gatewater Hotel as you claim. You could not have seen the stand before it fell over. In fact, you wouldn't have been able to see it after it fell either. There's no way you could have recognized the broken shards as a glass light stand. So, when did you see the stand, Mr. White? It must have been the moment that it fell. And the only place you could have seen that from is inside the Fay Law offices. In other words, you were at the scene of the murder, scene of the crime when the murder took place. Ah! Good game. Mr. White. Mr. White. You did it, didn't you? Mr. Your Honor. Hi, Miss Mia. Looks like we're about to get our verdict. That's far enough, Phoenix Wright. What? I forgot about Edgeworth. Mr. White. I think the time has come. Shouldn't you confess your crime now? What? I said you should confess your crime. Ergo. Confess that you placed the wiretap. Wiretap. Order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, explain to the court what you mean by this. Distinguished members of the court, Mr. White is slightly confused. Allow me to explain. I really don't like the way this is heading. As you know, Mr. White is the CEO of Blue Corps. He ordered his secretary, Miss April May, to tap the law offices of Miss Fay. What does that have to do? Your Honor, the question is, when was the wiretap placed in the office and by who? No, you wouldn't. Mr. White, in order to place the wiretap, you entered Miss Fay's office. Am I correct? Correct. You are most correct, Miles. Give me a break. Yes, in order to place the wiretap, I breached the Fay and Co. law offices. That is when I saw the accursed light stand. Now I'm confused. Please explain to the court what all this means, Mr. Edgeworth. Gladly, Your Honor. Mr. Phoenix Wright has made his position quite clear. He has determined that Mr. White knew the glass stain was in the office. He has shown that there was only one time Mr. White could have seen that stand, at the very moment of the murder. Thus, Mr. Wright would like you to believe that Mr. White was the murderer. I fucking hate everything. I hate everything. I see. However, it is a fact that Mr. White has been in that office well before the murder took place. He went to the place to place the wiretap. He could have seen the light stand there. Ergo, Mr. Phoenix Wright's theory is revealed for the baseless conjecture it is. Mr. White, you will testify to the court about this wiretap. Leave it to me. I feel faint. I hate everything. Wiretapping. Everything fucking sucks.